Welcome to the Church in the Wild podcast. You'll be hearing the words from worship from Sunday, February 8th, where we continue sharing at our Soul Cafe. If you want to find out more about Church in the Wild and all of our upcoming events and programs, just go to churchinthewild.org. Thanks for listening.
So this poem that Carol shared, I thought spoke so perfectly to what we're doing this month with our Soul Cafe sharing and why we're doing it. Not only to stay slow and ease into a more active gathering, but we are doing it for this reason. So hear these words from John Patchwork Heart Rodell. Vulnerability doesn't mean telling others what happened to us from across a cafe table or from behind a microphone, and then going home from the experience feeling just as alone as you did before. For me, vulnerability means allowing our human heart blankets to get sewn to other heart blankets. It's simply about connection. We don't share for status. We do it for synergy. We don't confess for clout. We do it to build community. We tell our tale to invite others to tell theirs. It's the sacred cycle of storytelling. We gather in a circle of trust and say, here's my journey. Then we listen to the other journeys that are shared. We take space, then we give space. We pour, then we absorb. We speak, then we listen. We are storytellers, then we are witnesses. Vulnerability isn't just about grave digging in our past to expose our skeletons. It's about sewing quilts. Here is my patch. Here is your patch. Here is their patch. Here is us. Here we are. Here is our story. We have three folks today who are ready to share with us the prompt is something that is keeping you afloat right now, a work of art of some kind, a poem, a song, a quote, whatever it might be. What's helping you? What's keeping your soul human? And first up, we have Kayden.
Hey, do I not know anyone? No, I'm pretty much sure I know everyone in here. So I chose a song and I found this song in 2021 when a documentary came out. There's this YouTuber, or it used to be a YouTuber, he's famous now. His name is Burnham, and I grew up with him. He's like, I think he might be a millennial. I'm not sure, but he's around my generation. And back when like YouTube really first started to become a thing, he was one of the people that I would watch. And he would always sing these like comedic songs. And that's what he did. He always just sang songs, right? And he was just funny, like, his old YouTube videos would not fly today, though. Like, just wouldn't fly today. And I think he realized that when he kind of disappeared. Like, he dropped off the face of the earth until this documentary came out. And I was like, oh, wow, like, I have to watch it. Like, what's up? So, essentially, I think COVID, from 2019 to 2020, because it came out in 2021, the documentary, I think it forced everyone to sit with themselves. You know what I mean? I mean, at least I won't speak for everybody else, but it made me sit with myself. I was alone for a majority of it. Um, in my own apartment, it was hard to keep, busy. So I think that also like occurred with him. Um, because in 2021 he came out of the blue again after years and years and years, like came out of the blue, and his documentary was called Inside. So what he did is he recorded a whole documentary by himself in the confines of his apartment during, quarantine. So all of the video production, all of the camera angles, everything was, by him and solely him. And a lot of the songs are him taking accountability for kind of having, because he would talk about all races. He would talk about gay people. He would, like every other comedian back in the day, like they could get away with those things or thought they could, or, you know, um, he wasn't, it wouldn't fly today. Okay. He wasn't outwardly like a racist person, but his songs, weren't, they wouldn't fly. So his whole like documentary is him going like inside himself, and taking accountability for his actions in the past, for not knowing any better then, and for kind of recreating himself, and like he publicly like outed himself, which I respect. And the whole documentary is also not only outing himself, it's outing the injustices of the world. It's outing the government. It's a documentary that if you find comedy, like if you find it hard to cope with what's going on in the world, it's a good way, a good documentary to watch, to like laugh, but also like it's serious. You know what I mean? Um, and the end song is the song that is gonna be played. Essentially it's like an emotional song, and he has like the speech in it where it kind of goes through a little bit of what I was just saying. Um, but it's a song that really like hit me in the gut when it came out in 2021, and I think it came out a little too early. I think the documentary like wasn't appreciated then, and I think it could be more appreciated now with all of the things coming out about what's going on and all of the craziness. And sometimes when I'm angry or I'm upset that, I can't organize enough, or, there's not enough people to do the things that I would like to do, take the streets, or, whatever. There's not enough people here where it's not safe, where we can all just like, you know, do that. So this is a song I play when I'm frustrated. But also it's not just a frustration song. It's a song that makes you like go inside. So yeah. It's called I think it's All Eyes on Me. And yeah, that's my spiel of it. So enjoy. There's one more thing I wanted to add about it. I think this also personally hits me, and it kind of hit me when I was listening to it again. Was I feel like for years now, and I've kind of grown to silence at this point, where I'll just share some things or whatever, because I feel like, yeah, like years now I've been screaming, it feels like on like not you guys' ears, but on deaf ears, like I've been, about Palestine, and before that, and my whole, I've been protesting more than half of my life. Like I've been protesting and fighting for change more than half than I've been alive. So I think that the end is like the end of that song. It's like where it's like, get up, like all eyes on me, like go inside. It's not about what's out there. You can try to change it. You could do your best to change it, but it's all about going inside. And I think the end where he's like, get up, like get the up. And it's like, then it goes back into it, is like a really powerful, like, not many people get angry like that in their songs unless like you're Eminem or something. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that was a real like punch to the gut when I first heard it. And even now, because I still feel that way. So that's why I listen to it while I'm angry, because it's like, I wish that we all could just get up and do something. And I know that we can't. And his frustration and anger represents that for me, at least. So when I'm feeling like there's nothing else, or I'm feeling hopeless, or I'm feeling like there's not going to be any change or anything like that, I listen to that song and I try to like, I'll be like, yo, you guys are missing this. Like, watch this, watch this documentary because it's not just like a funny haha documentary. It makes you critically think and it's like, oh, like that's what's going on. Like, oh, it has been in front of our faces, So it's kind of also validating coming from like a celebrity standpoint where you hope that other people are going to watch it and feel the same, I guess. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Lou sharing a specific art form. So that's cool, and I can't wait to hear about it. Thank you, Lou, for signing up.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So my soul cafe contribution, which speaks to my soul, is Kintsugi, which is the Japanese art meaning golden joinery or golden repair. And it's the practice of repairing broken pottery with Yorushi lacquer mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. And instead of hiding damage, this practice highlights it, and the cracks are traced in gold, and breakage and repair become part of the object story and not something to disguise. And cracks are not the end of usefulness or service, they're proof of use and proof of life. And at its heart, this philosophy holds non-attachment and acceptance of change and the truth that breaking is part of being human. And that has mattered to me because I have lived it. And there have been moments in my personal life and professional life where the path I was on did not align who I was actually, or I had gone off on this path thinking one thing, and it turned out that that wasn't the goal. Even for example, with my vocation, I had applied to college because I thought I wanted to be a teacher, and then I realized that I didn't want to be a teacher, and then I got a business degree, and then 2 years after the business degree, I found out that God was calling me, and I'm like, okay, so now I have this business degree that I didn't even want, but I wasn't going to be a teacher, and like now, like where the hell is this going? Um, and then there's also moments that have been like really soul crushing. Like I felt them in my body, heavy in my chest, short of breath, unsure what my next step was going to be. And I was showing up each day, playing a role that wasn't mine and slowly disappearing inside it. What moved me forward was the understanding that this disruption is not always failure. Sometimes it's necessary. And even before I knew how deep grief could go, like this helped me see that breaking can be the beginning of something truer. And I'm someone who, like, I am a recovering perfectionist. And I'm like, oh, well, I failed, so I'm never going to do this again. I've had so many journals, and I'm like, oh, I didn't write a week, so I'm not going to do this again. And what moved me forward was the understanding that that disruption is not failure. It's sometimes necessary, even before I knew how deep it could be. And then I lost my mother right before the pandemic, like about a month before the pandemic. And my role just tilted. Like nothing felt steady. What had been familiar became unrecognizable. And I didn't even know how to move through life without her. Like grief wasn't only sadness, it was disorientation. And this stopped being a concept and became a lifeline. And it reminded me that shattering does not erase the vessel, it changes it, and it calls for care. And life tumbles, and sometimes personally and sometimes all at once. And I'm a visual learner and a visual thinker, and there are moments in my life that I feel exactly like watching something fragile fall and break on the ground. And there's that breath holding pause, like when glass shatters unexpectedly, and for a moment nothing else exists except what's been lost. And in those moments, I cry until there's no sound left. And when the noise stops, I remind myself of what Kintsugi teaches me. This moment is not the whole story. I'm not broken beyond use. Repair is possible. And this is how I see my life as a golden journey. I'm golden joinery. I'm always repairing something. Things do not look the same afterwards. Sometimes damage is a crack. Sometimes it branches. Sometimes it's a piece that breaks away and becomes its own chapter. But the cup is still existing, and that has a history, and it can still be held and hold water. And for me, this self-healing, there is the visible repair that gold shows, and there is deeper healing beneath it that takes time and patience and care. And one way I tend to that is through journaling. And each evening I name what was beautiful and what was fractured, and it helps me see those cracks not as a failure, but as places where meaning is formed. And I'm going to share my screen while I'm rambling on the last part because I'm rambling. Hold on. And I know how to share my screen because I am an adult who can share my screen. And this is the philosophy of Kintsugi for me. Not the promise that we won't break, but the knowledge and knowing that when we do, we can meet it with care, attention, and gold. And that's what I want to share today. That's what holds me together in really shitty times. And it's been like, we're living in a really shitty time right now. And I've gone through really like my discernment journey has been amazingly weird with 3 parents dying and a plague and a biblical plague. And then this happened and then that happened. And I'm like, okay, well, that was not the journey I planned on being on. But I appreciate you guys letting me share about like what holds me together so I'm not going crazy alone and going, I don't know what to do next.
Yeah, that is so beautiful, Lou. Thank you. I appreciate hearing how that word is pronounced. I think I've been pronouncing it wrong. But I've heard of this concept before, and it is so special to remember. And I'm so grateful for the Japanese culture teaching this lesson to us all, that beauty can be enhanced by our cracks. And right, the Leonard Cohen quote that, cracks is how the light shines through sometimes too. That's where our broken places or our weaknesses is where, God's light or the community's light. It's like where we make space for other greatness to shine through, for something else powerful to fill in. So thanks for that reminder. Beautiful. Yeah. And last up today is Missy. Thanks for signing up and sharing. Did you want to talk at all before? Or just listen first?
Well, first I'll say, I've never been one to be like into art, or I wanted to write, but I could never be creative enough to write something. And I joined a creative writing class, and you get your criticism, and I thought, well, this isn't for me because the man used to be an editor of a newspaper, so he was quite critical of everything. And I'm like, I can't come up with topics. Like I struggled every week to come up with a topic. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. So I went back to my normal music. I always resort to music. And I, of course, couldn't choose just one song for this week. I was back and forth, but I originally had 2 different songs with 2 different genres. And then I realized I'm not getting the assignment appropriately. I need to like focus in on what like centers me. And like Kayden and Lou both said, like we've been through so much crap lately, all of us, the world and personally. And I kept thinking, what song do I go back to? And I kept choosing songs that were like good message, timely message. And then I kept, nope, I need to go back to the original song that I go to all the time. So I don't know which one is being played first, but I just realized that the one is called Worn, and that's exactly how you feel sometimes, is when you're under so much duress and stress, you just feel worn out like a wet rag, basically. And it's a good reminder that it's okay to talk to God or whoever you talk to, whoever your higher power is, and it's okay to tell them how you feel, and it's okay to be angry and stressed, and they could take it, they understand, and it's such a good reminder of that. And then the other song is one of their newer ones, and I realized after talking with one of my friends this week that that song is called Invited, is really talking about this group. We're such a diverse and welcoming group. And I was talking with Carol this week about how it's hard to go to a new church and how to, fit into the right place. And I said, it's really hard. I have found over the years, I go to church without my husband, I don't have children, and I'm always asked by people, well, are you married? Why is he not here? Why do you not have kids? I've never been asked that by this group. And that is so heartwarming that it doesn't matter who we are, we're all welcome. And that song really speaks to me about this group. So thank you.
So beautiful. I appreciate so much. And it just makes my heart swell to hear you say that last song is your experience here.
Absolutely.
I think we all have felt that. And so we want to extend it, right? We've felt that unconditional love, and we want other people to receive it. So yeah, everyone's invited. All the world's struggles we hold in our hearts. And we come to a time of focus, awareness of the Great Spirit, the Great Spirit's presence with us here in our midst, within us, and at work in the world. So I'll invite you to find a comfortable posture where you can be relaxed. And either close your eyes or find a gentle gaze. And I'll invite you into this awareness with these words from John Philip Newell. As the light begins to give way to darkness, and the busyness of day concedes to night's stillness, as conscious thought surrenders to dreams, and our bodies long for rest, we pause to listen. We listen for the beat of your presence in all things, pulsing in the light of distant galaxies, sounding in the depths of our soul, vibrating in each vein of Earth's body. One sound as vast as the universe, one universe filled with presence, one life within every life. In the darkness of night, in the stillness, in the unknown depths of our being, we pause to listen. Whichever way we turn, oh God, there is your face. In the light of the moon and patterns of stars, in sacred mountain rifts and ancient groves, in mighty seas and creatures of the deep. Whichever way we turn, oh God, there is your face. In the light of eyes we love, in the salt of tears we have tasted, in weathered countenances, east and west, in the soft skin glow of the child everywhere. Whichever way we turn, oh God, there is your face. There is your face among us. May heaven's guardians of night welcome us. May heaven's messengers of grace bless our dreams. May heaven's angels of compassion protect our sleep, that we may wake refreshed, that we may wake with eyes of wonder, that we may wake to the world's oneness, that we may wake to serve Earth's heaven-blessed oneness. May we carry these prayers and blessings with us into another cold, dark night, trusting the sun will rise again. As we plant these words of blessing into our souls, begin to bring some movement back to your body, some awareness back to this space. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you for sharing that time of prayer and meditation with me.
Thanks for listening. If you want to support Church in the Wild and the work we do in striving for environmental and social justice, just head on over to our website, churchinthewild.org, and click the donate link at the top. There you can make a donation, set yourself up as a recurring supporter, or you can buy something from our Redbubble shop. We're so glad you're with us on this journey, following the Spirit through creation, adventure, and restoration. Until next time.